Our next speaker, finding a good balance between professional and personal life is always a challenge, but a particularly challenging opportunity for this young woman who is trying to juggle her responsibilities as a wife and a mother while being successful in our profession. The struggle can be sometimes simply overwhelming. Not only did our next speaker qualify for MDRT membership in 2004, after only 3 years as an advisor, she was also selected to speak at the 2005 annual meeting. Here to share with you today the principles that helped her achieve her success from Mumbai, India, please welcome 7-year MDRT member, Merlin Kevin Fernandez.
Dajia Wangshang Hao. Okay, I'm right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my country, India. If you've been to India, you will be enchanted by the divinity of the majestic mountains, the diversified culture of the 400 languages that we speak, the kindness and the smiles of the people that makes them richer than gold, and the warmth and the hospitality of the Indian people, which will leave a deep impression on your heart. I'm often reminded of a true and moving story of a young American professor who had been to Mumbai, the financial capital of India. Mumbai is also my hometown and the city that never sleeps. Unfortunately for him, it was the day of 26th of July 2005, the floods in the city. Soon his taxi was stuck in traffic and the water level started rising. Seeing his gloomy situation, an Indian family passing by offered to help him. They not only gave him food and shelter, but also offered their bed to sleep on while they slept on the floor. The young professor was so moved by the hospitality shown to him, a stranger who not only came from a different country, but also a different culture. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my country, India. In India, we greet each other with the humble gesture of the Namaste. The Namaste means bowing down to the divinity in the other person. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your palms together and let us humble ourselves and greet each other with this gesture of the Namaste. 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 Please turn to your left and your right. Thank you very much. The insurance industry has changed the meaning of success for me. To some people, success means recognition, power, money, fame. Along with all this, I learned that success means learning from your failures. It's a transformation from good to great. It's a journey of moving from self to others. Insurance taught me to be a better human being. Before I share with you my fundamentals of success, let me tell you a short story. There once lived a wise old man named Kalu Kaka in one of the villages of India. Kaka means uncle in India. Sometimes I wonder why only wise men are old. Anyway, he was known for his wisdom, his witty answers, and his unique solutions for every situation in life. There was another man named Nandu who was extremely jealous of Kalu Kaka's popularity. One day, Nandu had an idea, and he went rushing to a nearby tree which had a cuckoo's nest. He picked up the baby cuckoo and put it in his pocket and started calling all the villagers from their homes. He said, "I have a question for Kalu Kaka which he will never be able to answer." The curious villagers came running from their homes to understand what is the question that Nandu had for Kalu Kaka. He had firmly enclosed the cuckoo inside his fist. Raising his hand, he asked Kalu Kaka a question. "Tell me, if this bird in my hand is dead or alive? There was a deep silence, and people waited for Kalu Kaka to answer. Nandu then turned to his audience, like we have this audience in Singapore. Tell me if this bird in my hand is dead or alive. So people, is this bird dead or is it alive? Alive. And some people say dead. Okay. Finally, Kalu Kaka answered. He said, the life of this bird is in your hand. If I say this bird is dead, you will simply release your fist and set it free. If I say this bird is alive, you will tighten your fist and kill the poor bird. Opportunities in our life, in our hands, are just like this bird in our hands. We can release it and rise to success, or we can give reasons and excuses for our failures. I came across this opportunity in December 2001. When I joined this business, my kids were aged 4 and 2, and I'd given up my career to be in the corporate world because I wanted to be a full-time homemaker. It was my dream to have a job with flexible working hours to support the income needs of my family. I decided to write down what I wanted from life. I kept asking myself, what is my purpose in life? Without a purpose, you are like a ship without a sail. A purpose is a strong desire which is cherished with passion, directed by your mind, and nourished with conviction. It will not reveal itself to you unless you seek it. My purpose in life was to have the freedom of time and money while still being able to handle the responsibilities of a wife, a mother, and a career woman. I wasn't sure of my calling until my sales manager, Mr. Jack Pinto, introduced me to this profession. And I'm sure most of you gathered here have been introduced to this profession by someone or the other. Very few people would have actually gone to an insurance company and said, hey, I want to be a life insurance agent. Very often, this profession is sold to us as a very rewarding career or a job. I feel people are confused between the satisfaction from your job and the earnings from your job. The satisfaction is related to how passionate you are about what you do. And if you love what you're doing, you will never ever have to work in your life ever. The other day, my husband and I were discussing career options with my older son, Johan, who is 14 years old today. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Johan. He had a question for us. Which is the profession where I can earn a lot of money and not study too much? I wanted to tell him, be a life insurance agent. But my younger son, Jonathan, he said, ambition should be your goal, not your job. Many years ago, I had chosen my career and my job and my academics according to the job that I was going to do. And after 15 years of working in a 9-to-5 job, I finally discovered myself in the life insurance business. The people who know the reason of their success are more successful than the people who know how to achieve their purpose. So, ladies and gentlemen, have you taken stock of your life? Sit back and think. Did you ever imagine that you would be selling life insurance to thousands of families and doing good to so many people and still earning an income out of it? When you search in the core of your soul, you will find the answers to your calling. Focus on what you want to be and what you want to do, and those values will guide you. Believe in yourself. Most people are not comfortable introducing themselves as a life insurance agent. They just do not take pride in what they do. Sometimes agents come up to me and ask me, how do you take an appointment? How do you convince people? I ask them, are you convinced about what you do? Do you really believe that what you're going to do today is going to change the life of the person for the better? Imagine if you had only 60 seconds to introduce yourself. How you introduce yourself depends on your self-belief and your conviction in what you do. If you don't like what you're doing, you will never be able to be happy. It will show in your voice and in your body language. When I call on my prospects, I just say, "Good afternoon, sir. Am I speaking with Mr. Nanda? Is this the right time to speak with you, sir? My name is Merlin Fernandez, and I work extensively in the area of helping people achieve their family's financial security, your children's education, and your own personal retirement. I have called today to see if we can find a mutually convenient time to get together to share these ideas with each other. Is Tuesday morning or Wednesday afternoon convenient with you, sir?" If you are in a group of people, I just say, "I'm Merlin Fernandez, your partner for life. I help balance your family's financial responsibilities with your income." I heard another agent introducing herself as a family welfare consultant. I always maintain a logbook of appreciation. Write down how your clients have benefited because of you. Seeing the difference that you've made in their life will uplift your soul. Sometimes your presence has just helped another person just to open up or to discuss his own financial problems or to just become friends. It's not necessary that every prospect or client you call has to be purchasing a life insurance from you. Treat objections as a stepping stone to success. Don't run away from it. Don't hide from it. I quote from the Bible, "Blessed is the one who perseveres when trials come. Such a person is proven worthy and will win the prize of life." An objection is just an opposition when one person refuses to accept your point of view. It involves our ego state. And that's where the whole problem lies. The objection starts within us. All of us have an ego, right from a child to mature adult. And it's visible when we hear the word no. We have to accept that this is a business of no's and postponements. Like many people, when I initially joined as an agent, I thought of quitting. I finally closed an application after hearing the word 15 times no. Mr. Ben Feldman, an MDRT legend, always said, "The sale begins when the customer says no." In many cases, sometimes the client says no because he hasn't heard enough to say yes. I believe people have the right to ask questions, or they raise questions only when you're discussing a topic of mutual interest. This is a business of delayed gratification, not instant success. When you feel down, just go back to your purpose and your vision. It will help you to stay afloat. I just pick up the phone and call up some of my clients. Their warmth and their kindness just helps me to get back on track. Just remember one thing in life. It's those people out there who need great financial advisors like you. If they didn't listen to you, it's not your loss, it's their loss. You did a job and you did it well, so pat yourself on the back. In fact, you should pat each other on the back and say, "Job well done." Please do it. Thank you. Sometimes clients neither say yes nor no. They just give reasons and excuses for postponing their decision of buying. I tell them, if I give you a solution to this problem that you're facing, would you be able to consider my suggestions? At times, there is no real objection. What the client is trying to tell us is, what's in it for me? Why should I drive past so many agents, so many companies, and so many products and buy from you? How will I benefit if I buy from you? I always maintain a confidential folder and record most of my conversations with my clients because I believe a client has a right to ask questions anytime during the tenure of the policy. Nobody starts a journey without deciding his destination. People like to deal with an agent who's been in this business for a very long time. The longer you are in this business, the more trust and dependency the client will have on you. It's like when a person visits a doctor and the doctor starts treating just one person from your family and eventually starts treating the whole family. Visualize, where do you see yourself 10 years from now? Inspect what you expect. When you develop clarity about your future, you become more productive in your present. Write down your goals and mark those dates on the calendar. Every day you can cancel the day when it's over. I'm sure all of you have got a bank account, yes? Okay. Have you ever seen the bank account of your life? Every morning, you are credited with 86,400 seconds. You can use it generously, you can spend it the way you want, you cannot save it, neither can you carry it forward. And yet, the next day morning, you are credited with 86,400 seconds. The law of Newton holds true for us. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So, every effort and hard work that you spend in those 86,400 seconds will only guarantee your success. You should align your goals with your emotions. You cannot achieve it without emotions in it. The year 2003 was the pinnacle of success in my career. It was my dream to gift my husband a car. This was one of the incentives which was offered by my organization. My children and I visualized this goal with the help of pictures, and we stuck it all over the office and the house. Achieving that dream and that goal helped me to qualify MDRT the first time in the year 2003, and also enabled me to be the best agent of my company. Thank you. My second dream was to visit the United States of America free of cost to attend the $1 Million Round Table. A senior colleague always told me, dream big dreams, they have a funny way of coming true. Me standing here on this main platform for the Singapore experience is one of those dreams that I dreamt some time ago. And I'm grateful to the person who introduced me to this profession. Sometimes our goals are also attached to tragic situations. The insurance business not only gave me success, but also enabled me to be a financial support towards my father's cancer treatment. It gave me the much needed money and also the time to be with my father during his last days, which no other profession or business in this world would have ever been able to give me. And I'm grateful to this organization, which helped me to qualify MDRT each and every year. Tragedies in life. Thank you. Tragedies in life only make you stronger to achieve your goal. Work on the time value of money. Meet those prospects who will help you get closer to your goal. Don't ignore the smaller ones, because they help to enlarge your database and your contact base. The financial needs of the clients remain the same, except for the addition of zeros to their financial needs. Sometimes we spend a lot of time just convincing one particular client. I feel it's best to leave them with their conviction and move on to the next. Design your meetings, which means follow a process. A process becomes a habit, and a habit becomes a discipline. This includes punctuality, being proactive, and of course, the power of dressing. If you're leaving behind the presentation material for your client, make sure you attach it with a colorful clip or a post-it so that he can identify his papers or your papers among his papers. In fact, you need to observe the kind of stationery the client is using, the photographs on his desk. They speak volumes of how close he is to his family, the places that he's visited, and also his income earning potential, which definitely is different from what is visible to the taxman. Build your self-esteem before walking into the client's office. Remember, the first impression should be the right impression, not the last impression, but a lasting one. Review yourself and understand which are your best months. Sometimes we take a break when we come to such great meetings, and it takes us time to get back to our speed and motion. Review your existing clients. Calculate what is the worth of the client to you. Very often, we are chasing new business and we lose control of the existing clients. These clients go towards competition and they do not give us repeat business. I've realized that we spend 6 times more effort in getting a new prospect to a client rather than spending 5% increased effort on existing clients, which will give you 30% more business. You have to treat client reviews as an opportunity. Client reviews can be done on birthdays, on anniversaries, even when the client has changed his job, his residence, or the birth of a new child, or even if the children have finished their college, the client has enough money to reinvest. Do a need satisfaction instead of just a need analysis. Ravi Kumar, an ex-colleague of mine, was 41 years of age when I called him for a financial review. He told me I have a good agent and he was adequately insured. After a few months, I received a call from a common friend of mine telling me that Ravi Kumar passed away while working out at his gym. The insurance policy that he had was not more than $25,000. Now his wife would have to work again in order to take care of the education needs of the children. I lost a friend who wasn't adequately insured. It is our responsibility to do a proper need analysis and also to satisfy those needs with the right solutions. How do we understand the client's needs? It's by being a good listener. Most people do not listen with an intent to understand. They listen with an intent to reply or give suggestions without being asked for. Very few people practice emphatic listening. Emphatic listening is when you get inside the frame of the other person. As shown in the grid, statistics show that when we listen more and talk less, the output is higher. That's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. There is a big difference between hearing and listening. When you listen, you understand the client's needs. When you're hearing, you understand your own needs. Help the prospect to reach their goal and not your goal. If you only work for money, you will always be underpaid. Sometimes agents suggest those solutions which help them to